Hey guys, Terrainoob. Terrain builders have all seen this sight, this boring tub holding their tools. Well, if you want to jazz up your station, stick around and I'll show you how to make one of these. Okay, let's talk about materials. First, you're going to need a cardboard tube, but you don't want to use these things off of paper towel rolls because they are so flimsy they're not probably even going to make it through the painting process. So don't use those. Use something like this. This I got out of the middle of an aluminum foil roll. I think plastic wrap rolls have them too, but they're a lot thicker and they're not going to rip. So use that. You're going to need a piece of, I'm using pink foam, blue foam is fine. This is about 8 inches by 8 inches. You can make it as big as you want, but just be careful that you have enough room on your desk for it. It would be bad to make it so big that you can't use it. So the first thing you're going to want to do, if we look at this one, you want to cut some different sizes of tubes here. You want to try to make sure you cut them straight. The easiest way I've found to cut them straight is just to get a piece of paper, and if you wrap the paper around and make sure that it lines up, get a marker, draw a line around the paper, then what you cut will be straight. So it's not the prettiest line, but it'll work. So you measure out what sizes of tubes you want, cut those out. I'll go ahead and do that and then we'll come back. Okay, so I got the tubes cut out. I've got 4 of them here. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to figure out where I want to put them on this. So I'm just going to kind of put them on there like this. And then I'm just going to trace a rough outline around these. Doesn't have to be perfect, I just want a general idea of where they're going to be, so that I don't carve anything into where they're going to be on the foam. There, now we can set these aside, because now we need to do some work on this. Now, you don't have to do this the same way I've done it. I did this because I like using 2 water cups when I'm working. I have one with clean water and one for brush washing. But you know, do whatever you're comfortable with. The first thing I'm going to start with though is the edge. Now, this edge, see, I don't have a hot wire cutter. So I don't do the rock edges with hot wire stuff. I actually just use a knife and whack at this stuff until it looks right. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how I do it, and then I'll go away and finish it. So first I just kind of shave off some pieces to get a rough shape. I don't want to get too much off of here. I just want to kind of round off the corners a little bit. And it doesn't matter if it kind of tears up because we're going to be going back over this anyway. So we've done a little bit of rough shaping. Now this gets messy. What you're going to do is you're going to kind of just scrape this with short strokes, and you're going to see this stuff flying everywhere. this stuff actually has a grain, so when you're going against the grain, it works a little easier than when you're going with the grain. Same concept, it's just not going to look quite the same on this side. And sometimes you got to do a little more work because it's not going to flake off for you like the other side did. That's why I use this part of the grain as the front, because I'm going to see that more, and I think it looks better. Anyway, you get the general idea. So you come out with something like this, and you just do that all the way around on all four sides. So let me get that done, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, so I finished hacking this out. Got all four sides. I love doing this. I hate cleaning it up. My gosh, this stuff gets everywhere. Now you're probably going to have little bits and pieces kind of hanging off, so you just want to kind of go around it and kind of dust it off, and if there's anything that looks like it's going to come off easily, go ahead and pull it off, because after you paint this, you don't want these things pulling off and then pink shows all through. That'll really aggravate you. So just kind of go through pretty carefully and pull. I've already done a lot of it, but just kind of pull things off. If something doesn't look rockish to you, just kind of dig out a piece to help it out. You can just gouge it out with your fingernail. Especially on the sides that we're going with the grain, they're not going to be quite as nice as this side, but anyway, you get the idea. So after you've done that, then we got to make the holes for the cups. So what we're going to do is get a cup that you use. These are the kind I use, just little paper cups. Get a marker. Now you don't want to do it right up against the edge of the cup, because you don't want to have to be jamming the cups down in there. You want them to sit in there easy, so do it just a little bit bigger than the bottom of the cup. It doesn't have to be perfectly round, it just has to be kind of close enough. Alright, if you want 2 holes, put another cup down. Okay, and then if you look at this, you'll see, maybe, that I've got kind of a lip here. You don't have to do that, I just kind of like the way it looked, so I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another concentric ring around this. Okay, so there we got kind of a plan together. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, when you're carving this stuff on the edge with the knife, since you're using such short, fast strokes, be really, really careful, because you don't want to short, fast stroke your thumb. That would not be cool. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to break here for part 1. Part 2, I'm going to come back, we're going to dig these out. We're going to get these on, and then we'll start coating this with some paint. See you guys then.